Welcome back to the program, everybody. It is John Pollock with you. Coming up, the UFC is back in Brazil with a card coming up Saturday night, September the 24th in Brasilia, which will feature Cris Cyborg Justino in action against our guest at this time. She is debuting Lina Lansberg, who has just signed with the UFC and is getting set to headline this big card. Lina, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Tell me a bit about the phone call that was made when you heard, whether it was from the UFC directly or your management, that not only were you going to the UFC, but you were going to be headlining your first card. What was that reaction like?
My management told me some weeks earlier, that they was discussing fights in 140 as well. I didn't know that it was Cris Cyborg that they were thinking about at that time. When I heard, of course, I was surprised, because it's not the fight that you expect to start with. But it was amazing, it's a dream come true. It's the biggest fight possible, so I was happy.
You have quite a storied career in combat sports beyond just your professional mixed martial arts fights. I mean, you are somebody, a two-time Muay Thai world champion. Did you feel that you were all ready for the UFC a lot longer? Has this been a long wait for you to get to the UFC?
Yeah, we have been in contact with the UFC for a long time as well, so I did expect a call from them sooner or later, so that was not really a surprise, even if I was happy, of course, I've been waiting for it, so that was not a surprise at all. But this fight was.
Is Cyborg a fighter that you have watched a lot of prior to the news that you would be fighting her? How familiar are you with Cris Cyborg and specifically what she has been doing in mixed martial arts?
I'm really familiar with her and, with a lot of the other women in my weight division and in the strawweight division as well. I've been watching a lot of fights, of course. But I'm really familiar with Cris, and I've been watching her for years.
A number of weeks back, you went on a media tour in Brazil, and you got to sense this all firsthand. I'm sure a ton of media attention on this card. What was like that experience for you, just going to Brazil and kind of seeing the scope of what a UFC event and a main event entails?
Of course, you're not really used to it, but in the same way, I'm living my dream, so it's amazing in every way, and I really enjoy all of it, so of course it's a lot, to start with, but it's really fun.
I know you have a background in ballet and dance, and then you decided that you were going to put that on the side and focus on combat sports, on fighting. Tell me a bit about that decision you made, and when did that take place?
It did take place quite late. I was like 20 years or something like that when I started, and I have always been the kind of person, that wants to do hard and difficult things. I really need to challenge myself in different way, So I was just thinking about, what is the hardest thing that I can do right now, and I came up with kickboxing and Thai boxing, and I started it, in Gothenburg, in Sweden. And I was at one gym to start with, and everybody was always talking about the other gym in Gothenburg. Gothenburg Muay Thai was the name, and it was such a hard place, it was hard sparring. Everybody was afraid to go there. And I thought that, that's it, I'm gonna go there. And I did. And that's where it all started.
How many years did it take for you to feel that I can excel in this sport? I mean, you would go on to be a two-time world champion. How long until you realized that you could be an elite-level kickboxer?
I think that from the start, I wanted to do more and more and more things. And also, when you have trainers and the mentors, where you train, that really believes in you and that understand, that it's something special with people that wants to give it, 100%. then you get the possibility to do it. But of course, from the start, it was like, I want to do one fight. That would be really cool, to be fighting, not only training. And then it was like, I want to win the Swedish championship, and I did. And, everything just went on and got bigger and bigger. So it was like from where I started, I fought for the Swedish national team the first time in 2006, and then I was training like 2 years before that.
And there's such a rich kickboxing scene in Europe, outside of North America. When mixed martial arts, what was the influence that made you was it similar to when you got into Muay Thai, just wanting to challenge yourself with something different, taking your foundation and expanding upon it?
Yeah, it was actually, but the main thing was when I was watching MMA fights in my hometown where I live right now, and I was thinking about these really thin gloves, and I thought that I think it's really nice to punch somebody with these thin gloves. So that was it, and then also I won the Swedish championship and the Nordic and the World Championship and the European Championship in the same year. And then I decided that I wanted to do something more. So MMA was perfect.
When you look at this fight with Cyborg, a lot of people here are looking at you as an extreme underdog. Do you feel that as a lot of people that are maybe not familiar with your background, and do you like this role as the underdog? You're going into this with little to lose, many say, because of Cyborg and her being a big favorite here. Do you like being in that position?
Yeah, I do. Actually, I really do, because as you said, I really got everything to win on this fight and nothing to lose at all. Cris has a lot to lose, really. So I do enjoy it, and it feels comfortable.
How do you feel about the catch weight? You fought at 145, you fought at 135. Is the catch weight of 140 pounds, is that something that you were fine with? Is there any adjustments you have to make being at 140?
No, not at all. I've been fighting most of my Muay Thai fights in 140, but mostly as an amateur because all of these world championships and stuff like that, where you weigh in the same day as your fight, and every day in 1 week. So I do like it, fighting in 135, but 140 is fine.
Cyborg has been very clear. She has a very hard weight cut, even to get to 140. Yeah. Given that this is a 5-round fight, do you have that sense that the longer this fight goes, and because of the weight that she carries, that this fight very much becomes your fight the longer this goes, that she could have those stamina issues later in a fight because of that cut?
Yeah, I know what it's like to cut, a lot of weight, and it's not fun at all. And I really hope that Cris is going to be fine, because it's not an easy and it's not really a good thing to do, for your health. But mostly I do think that it's going to be a mental fight, and she's not really used to fight for 5 rounds. And I am, from Muay Thai as well, even if it's not 5 minutes rounds. But, I think that she will get frustrated, and that's going to be more than the weight cut, actually.
My final question for you, I know that someone that UFC fans are very familiar with is Akira Khorasani, and I know he has had a big impact on your career. Could you just tell us a bit about working with Akira and how he has helped you?
He has helped me in so many ways. And, to start with, me and Akira was training together for maybe 12 years ago, something, when we both lived in Gothenburg. My gym, my Muay Thai gym, and his MMA gym was in the same place. So we have known each other for so long, But since he moved back home, to the city where we live now, and I started to train with him, it's been, a big difference. He's really good in so many ways. He knows the game perfectly, and he he knows me mentally as well, you know, so he can catch me in so many different ways. So it's so good, you know. I really like training with him, and it means a lot to me.
Will he be with you in your corner in this fight?
Yeah, of course he will.
Well, we're very much looking forward to it, Lina. Once again, Cris Cyborg Justino taking on Lina Lansberg Saturday night, September the 24th. It will air on FS1 in the U.S., TSN here in Canada. All the best going into this fight, Lina. We are looking forward to it.
Yeah, thank you so much.